Alrighty. At this time, I'd like to invite Garrison to come up and take a seat. Now, would everyone please stand for the presentation of the colors? Color guard. Forward march. Detail halt. Post colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scout oath. On my honor,
I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout laws, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scout law. Scout
is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
You may be seated. Now will Gabe Miller please come up for the invocation. Assuming Gabe Miller is here. Alright, well. I would like to ask all.
Down front? Okay, here, hang on a second, Tom. I'll be right back.
Look at those. Look at those wheels.
That's a 100-meter sprinter right there. That's what we did back in
Marshall Proud.
Yeah, Marshall Proud. Yeah.
Hopefully we can lighten this up a little.
Some would like to
Get
give
rally
us some more
him in.
sponsors. Alrighty.
Come on, Gabe.
You're on, Gabe.
I know. Status. Here you go, buddy.
Okay. I'll try not to use the sheet. Oops, sorry. Okay. All who are able, please rise. Assume a position of reverence. Father in heaven, please join us today in this ceremony congratulating Garrison Osborne on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Use this ceremony to inspire vision and encourage others to follow the Eagle path. Help us to give well-deserved praise and honor, and to also realize that becoming an Eagle Scout is not so much a destination as it is a way of life. Help us to honor the institution of the Eagle Scout and all that it represents. Raise your observance to the heavens where eagles fly. Amen.
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 I don't know. All set.
Everybody else is set.
Is that me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What exactly does it mean to be an Eagle? We are here to honor this young man as he becomes an Eagle Scout, and as we do, it is fitting to reflect on what it means to be an Eagle Scout. In the 1938 Handbook for Scoutmasters, they put it this way. Sorry, Garrison. The badge which accompany his advancements and which the Scout wears on his uniform are to show that he has passed certain tests. There should be no past tense implied. On the contrary, each badge cries out, I can, right now and here. So what can the Eagle Scout do? Let's take a look at some of the things he has done in preparing to be an Eagle Scout. In terms of badges, he has earned the badge for the rank of Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, and finally Eagle. Along the way, he has earned 43 merit badges, 12 Eagle Required and 9 elective Eagle Required merit badges. He has served in 5 troop leadership positions for a total of 36 months. He has spent more than 70 hours on service projects, not including the many hours he spent on his own Eagle Scout service project, and has spent over 150 nights camping, 144 miles on trail, and in all has completed more than 325 different requirements. So what have these requirements taught him? What is the Eagle Scout? First and foremost, of course, he is an outdoorsman. He knows how to camp, swim, hike, use wood tools, build a fire, use a camp stove, and find his way with a map and compass. He has spent at least 20 nights camping in a tent that he pitched on a site that he selected. Many of those times he planned his own menu and cooked his own food. The Eagle Scout is comfortable with nature. He can identify local plants and animals and can identify poisonous plants. He understands the causes of water, land, and air pollution and developed a project to solve an environmental problem. He embodies the Scout motto, to be prepared. He knows how to treat fractures, head injuries, hypothermia, convulsions, frostbite, burns, abdominal pain, muscle cramps, and even knocked out teeth. He knows what to do in case of fire, explosion, desert emergency, motor vehicle accident, mountain accident, food poisoning, gas leak, earthquake, flood, tornado, hurricane, atomic emergency, and avalanche. Way to go, Garrison. The Eagle Scout is a good citizen. He's been to a city or local government meeting and knows how the local government is organized. He knows who his U.S. senators and representatives are and has written a letter to one of them about a national issue. He has read the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. He knows how to manage money and understands the risks and benefits of putting his money in savings bonds, mutual funds, common stock, and real estate. He has set financial goals and worked toward achieving those goals. The Eagle Scout has also set and worked toward fitness goals. He's competed against himself in tests of aerobic endurance, flexibility, and muscular strength. He knows what it means to be physically, mentally, and socially fit. He's a good family member. He knows what things are important to the members of his family and has talked to his family about finances, drug abuse, and growing up. All of these things he has done in order to earn the merit badges required for Eagle. Beyond those, he was required to earn 9 elective merit badges, but Garrison earned 34. Good job. So what is an Eagle? Well, to quote that old handbook for Scoutmasters again, he is a young man who is qualified to help others as well as take care of himself. His badge is not a decoration, but rather a symbol of knowledge and ability. At this time, will adult leader Chris Nussbaum please come forward to explain what is an Eagle and what challenges lie ahead of him.
Thank you.
I would like to read for you the Eagle Challenge and Promise. The foremost responsibility of an Eagle is to live with honor. To an Eagle, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that a Scout is trustworthy is the very first point of the Scout law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important to him, but because of the vital significance of the example he sets for other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his church, his troop, and his community. May the white of the Eagle badge remind you to always live with honor. There's 3 colors in the Eagle badge. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and other Scouts makes him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty, which means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but the determination to stand up for what's right. Trusting in God, with faith in his fellow man, he looks forward to each day, seeking his share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you always of courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle is to be cheerful, to remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile. The red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the Second Class Scout Award, which has its ends turned up in a smile. The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends his helping hand to those who still toil up the scouting's trail, just as others helped him to climb to Eagle. The performance of the daily good turn takes on a new meaning when he enters a more adult life, continuing to service others. The eagle stands as a protector of the weak and the helpless. He aids and comforts the unfortunate and the oppressed. He upholds the rights of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his best. Garrison, I challenge you to enter this Eagle Brotherhood, holding ever before you, without reservation, the ideals of honor and service. By the repetition of the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members, you will become an Eagle Scout. Through the words you use, though the words you use are similar to those by which you join Scouting, they will mean more now that you have they will mean more now than they have meant at any time in the past. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scouts. With the words which close the Declaration of Independence. I'd like to ask all Eagle Scouts in the audience to please stand at this time, and we'll rededicate themselves by repeating the Eagle Scout promise with this newest eagle. Do you need somebody to tend that for you?
I think I can get it.
Okay. Scout sign and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance
I reaffirm my allegiance
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and the responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout.
the obligations and the responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training an example,
to make my training an example.
my rank and my influence count strongly
My rank and my influence count strongly
for better scouting and for better citizenship
for better scouting and for better citizenship
in my troop and in my community,
in my troop and in my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
in my contacts with other people.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
Wear your award with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked upon as an example. May the Scout Oath and the Scout Law be your guide for tomorrow and onward. I would like to ask Carl Brown to come up with the appropriate presentation of the Eagle Award.
Will Garrison's mother and father please rise and come forward? Garrison, your parents have undoubtedly been your primary source of help and strength. No one will know the unnumbered acts of self-sacrifice from your mother, so I'd like your mother to please pin the medal to your uniform.
This is always the hazard in this ceremony, poking someone. There you go. I never get to pin on yours, did I, Eric? Darn. Left it.
In recognition of your mother's devotion, please present her with this Eagle Mother's pin. Your father has been the source of much advice and guidance along the Eagle Trail, so I'd like him to present the Eagle Scout certificate to you.
Spelled correctly.
In return, present your father with this Eagle Father's pin. You may return to your seats, but as traditional to any Court of Honor, Eagle Court of Honor, will Scoutmaster Scott Osborne please stay and present the Eagle with his new neckerchief.
This is my favorite job, so I had to keep it in the ceremony. Usually at this time, since the neckerchief is always a little bit tricky, I tell a little story about the Scout. So I was sitting there trying very hard to think about a story of my son. And would y'all like to hear a secret?
Yes.
When we first joined Troop 43, there wasn't a big bridge class that came into 43 at that time. Garrison almost came in all by himself. And usually it's nice when they can come in and have friends that come in with them. It's 10 and 11-year-olds, so they're a little intimidated by that kind of stuff. So when Garrison came in, he was really pretty much all by himself, and he was having a tough time kind of, you know, getting used to all that was going on around him, as most kids do. And he was up for his first board of review for Scout class. And that first board of review for Scout class was with some of the older guys' fathers. And they were very good to him. You know, it was a good one. But when he came back out, he was really quiet. And at that time, I held no more position in the authority than a helpful parent. And so he didn't say much about his board of review to get out of Scout class, which is the first of the ranks. It's basically the start of your Scout career. So we sat down in the car as we were about to leave Kiwanis. And I said, so, you know, how'd it go? And he was kind of holding back tears, and he did a pretty good job doing it. When the car started up, he goes, I didn't get my Scout rank. And, you know, me being the loving, caring father that I was, I go, what do you mean you didn't get it? What's this all about? Who is questioning you? I want their names, you know? And so we talked about it a little bit, and he was bummed. He didn't make that first rank. And so, you know, we kind of let it go, and got about our evening, and he went to bed. And I talked with him a little bit more. And, you know, the next morning he woke up, he was eating his cereal, and he goes, I didn't say a word to him. He was eating his cereal, and he goes, you know, I was thinking about it. I'm gonna practice harder, and I'm gonna come back and do it again. Because he was even talking about maybe this isn't for me on the way home. And that was really wonderful to hear, especially out of a small 11-year-old. There was another story that I'm reminded of too. And we were on our second Philmont, and as legend has it, most of you Scout parents have already heard this, we had a lot of rain. It was like 4 to 5 straight days of rain. There was a lot of water. It was tough. And the second one. We were, it was just wet, constantly. And we had gotten to the top of Mount Phillips, and some of the boys, it's a pretty good ascent. We had horizontal rain, 35 to 45 mile an hour winds. It was cold. The temperature dropped quite a bit, you know, at that elevation, because we were over 11,000 feet. And it was so cold that when we got up there, we had to break out the dining fly, and we wrapped the whole crew in the dining fly just to keep warm, and we tried to warm up because all of our gear was wet. We were just, you know, we were soaked. And so that night we climbed back in the tent, and Garrison was really quiet, and I said, you know, how's it going? You okay? And he goes, I really wanted the guys to experience Mount Phillips the way I experienced it my first time. We got there, and you couldn't see anything. It was all cloud cover. It was rain. It was really tough. It was a tough night. And I said, well, you know, what do you think? And he goes, I just wanted them to experience it the way I had experienced it. And I love that bit of empathy that he had. He wanted the guys to experience the same things that he had done. And those two things taught me volumes about my son and just the wonderful things that he's capable of and the things he's going to do later on in life. I want to thank you all for coming today. This is really a happy day for both of us. We're very pleased. So, congratulations.
Well, I guess it's my turn to talk. So, I didn't really prepare much for what I was going to say to you guys, so I just kind of thought about it over the last few days and thinking about what I was going to say. Well, first off, I just want to say, like, thank you to everybody for all you guys coming here out today in this brutal weather and just coming to see this and seeing all the younger scouts here to see what this is all about. I want to thank all the scout parents and all what they do for all the scouts, all the adult leaders. I want to thank you so much. You guys have been one of the integral parts of me being a part of Scouts, and I couldn't have not have been here without you guys. And the Scouts too. The Scouts they became my greatest group of friends that I've possibly ever had. When I was just barely into Scouts, I didn't have many friends, and what I did was when I joined Scouts, I found so many new friends, and it was probably the best decision of my life to ever do this. I opened up to people more. I talked to people more. I actually, you know, I shared secrets with people for some of my life, and it was great to get that out there, and to be able to go outdoors and be able to experience the same thing with all of these guys. And yeah, I mean, I could not, without Ethan or Eric or Carl back there. Hey, Carl. And Owen, Aaron, Brandon, Thomas, Ethan, Drew, Gabe, Matt, and Brandon, and God, I hope I'm not missing anybody. Mr. Nussbaum. I just want to thank you guys so much for just being there for a part of my life. I mean, this part of my life has actually taken up the majority of what I've done in my life. I'm 18 years old. I've done this for 11 years. That's more than 3/4 of my life. That's a lot of time, and it's a little over half. Huh? I'm not doing the math. I'm not doing the math right now. But it's been such an awfully great and just enlightening experience. And I was thinking the other day about what I was going to say, and a quote came up in my head that I actually used in my my senior quote in my yearbook, and it was by a guy you may or may not eventually curse in your high school calculus class. It was Sir Isaac Newton who said this. He said, "If I have seen further is by standing on the shoulders of giants." And that's what he said. It may or may not have been a sarcastic quote to one of his opponents at the time, but that doesn't matter. It's a great quote because it generalizes an old theme that used to go back to in human history, where somebody, if you stand on a giant, you see further. And in that sense, if you take what the knowledge you've gained from other people, if you stand, say for example, you know, you learn from somebody, you essentially stand on their shoulders. You see farther, you understand the concepts clearer, and that's what I was thinking about with Scouts. And I was just thinking, like, you know, when Newton said it, he applied it more to academia. When he applied it to, you know, other great thinkers, what he referred to as giants like Descartes and Greek philosophers such as that. But I got to thinking, like, it could work for anything. It could work for Scouts with social skills and outdoor skills and all other types of skills, and, you know, understanding economics and you know, building a fire, or doing first aid, and you know, all this stuff. And the thing is, I could not have done this alone. There's no way I could have possibly did it without the help of these guys here and all you guys who who you are. All you guys have shown me so much of what I can do. what I can do. I never thought any of this would be honestly possible without you guys. You guys help me a lot here. And for you younger scouts, you guys, you definitely should listen to what your parents, to what your leaders, to what the other older scouts are telling you, and definitely start looking into things with a deeper perspective. And yeah, and I will say right now that this definitely shows it, and this is honestly the best day of my life. I can say that for a fact, and I can't wait to see you other guys get out of here and start eagling and start moving on to new things. And I myself, I have to move on to new things, and I forgot to say, I also like to thank my family a lot. You guys did a lot for me and got me through a lot of it, and yeah, I can't thank you all enough. It was a great ride, honestly, and I'm glad to have you guys help me stick around. Thank you. And I guess just end my little thing, I forgot to hand out the mentors pins. And I took a very long time considering who to pick, so I picked 3. I had the hardest time trying to see who would be who has shown me shown me what I should do, who has taught me the most, who has definitely shown me the rounds of Boy Scouts. So for my first mentors pin, it's going to be to Mr. McDonald. He's not here, but he was probably the guy who got me most. He kick-started me into Scouts. Before my dad was the Scoutmaster, and before I knew most of the guys, he was the guy who said, like, you know, it's just like he was always very quick about it. I just, like, you know, at the first start I was like, oh man, I'm so confused, I don't know what to do, and he's just like, get your book. Okay, yeah, get your book. Let's see what you got. And so we set it down, and then he got me started. And after I understood how it went, how I'd check in with Mrs. Vandenberg at the time, who was our advancement chair. Thank you. It turned into her, and you know, all that, and it eventually became very easy, and eventually got really good at it. And so I got through the ranks as quick as I could. Eventually, at some point, I just like flew through it. Then I came to a wall, but I still made it. And that's a 3-year wall at that. So, anyway. So yeah, there goes Mr. McDonald. I'll get it to him eventually. My second one I would like to present to Mr. Nussbaum, who helped me so much with, as well as getting into my book and getting on my case about getting on my Eagle. Almost. Did I? You did. After I got my life, almost immediately after, he's like, well, what are you thinking for your Eagle project? And I said, I don't know. He just told me, well, you got to think about it soon. So, and then he bothered me for the next 3 years about that. And he actually called me up several times, so that works. So,